If gear isn't important in photography, why am I as a hobby photographer thinking about spending thousands of pounds on a camera when a 400D Canon should be good enough? Well, that's a question my wife keeps asking me. And what can I get from the latest OM1 camera that this one can't give to me? You know, there's nothing wrong with this camera. It's got manual mode, it's got shutter priority, aperture priority, it's got scene modes, and it's got a 10 megapixel sensor. It's fine, it takes okay pictures. Yeah, it's a very credible, okay camera. But yet, I want more. Isn't that odd? And without going too far into the technical details, we could say things like, obviously the sensor size, we could say the burst mode, the autofocus, the dynamic range, all sorts of different technical details that actually do separate this camera from a modern camera, be it an Olympus OM1 or any of the latest brands of mirrorless cameras, quite a bit different. And that's part of why I would want to change this camera. Well, there's more to it than that. And it's not just about technical specs of the camera, the things the camera can do technically, but as much as anything, it's about the ergonomics, the shape, the size, and the actual use of the camera in my hand when I'm out taking a photo. That's really important to me, and that's what I want to really talk about in this little video now. And do you know what? I'm sure every day is bin day in Lincoln when I've come out to take some photos. And why are the bags on the streets always purple, bright purple bags? It just doesn't make good photos. Look at this down here. And look over here, I'll turn you around. Look at all that. Why is that the case whenever I come out to take pictures? Put simply, and one of the things that I think is probably worth thousands of pounds is having a live screen on the back. So this Canon 400D is 20 years old. It doesn't have any form of live stream. Although I'm really comfortable, I'm happy using the viewfinder, and I really like using the viewfinder. I really also like composing my shots, looking at the back screen, just triple checking, and it doesn't even have that at all. So yeah, compared to a modern camera, whether it's a DSLR or a mirrorless modern camera, this really lacks that back screen. It's really important for me. And for me, one of the really important things about having a back screen is having one that tilts or shifts or is fully articulated, because I like to be able to get down into unusual positions and try to get low or even get high. And I like to be able to see what I'm taking a picture of. With this camera, no back screen, you just have to guess. And I've done that a lot, probably you have as well. Just put your camera in a position, fingers crossed, and hope for the best. But with a back screen, a tilt or a flippy out screen, you can position your camera in a really awkward position and still get a reasonable composition. And that's fundamentally a fantastic thing for, you know, for a camera. And that's one of the things that I'm missing. Another one of those things that's really important to me are the buttons. And I love the layout of the Olympus buttons. I think the way that your fingers can reach all of the buttons you need really easily is telling, is really important. And I'm not saying that other cameras are not the same, other modern cameras. I think they are, your Sonys and your Canons. But the buttons on that I was used to on my E-M1 Mark II, and they're very similar on the OM1, are in exactly the right places. And you can pretty much get to all the settings you need just without moving your hands. Where on this camera, to be able to change different settings, you've got to press one button and do a dual action with your fingers, and you're not really sure. And I think that is such a critical, crucial thing to make your photography a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable by having sort of tactile buttons that you can easily find, and sort of you get that muscle memory in your fingers because you know exactly where those buttons are. And yeah, that's definitely a thing that is important to me, and why I'd be looking to spend thousands on a new camera. And another thing I think I miss with this camera is the IBIS, the stabilisation, because I'm so used to having stabilisation on my Olympus. When I come to use this, sometimes my shots are soft or not terribly exposed. It could be just my skill, but it could also be that I haven't got a setting right, or possibly the IBIS doesn't have any stabilisation on this camera, and that's a big draw for me as well. And that's one of the reasons why I'd want to spend extra money. I've got the camera set up just to take this picture behind me. It's one of those nice pictures you get in Lincoln, cobbled street, lamps, a wonky lamp at the end, and the buildings at the back. It's quite a nice picture, and I've taken this before, and I've probably shown this picture to you on a video before, but I quite like it. It's quite a nice composition. But what's the best composition here? It looks fairly straightforward, really, doesn't it? You've got a leading line leading your eye. There's a nice red door, and there's a wonky lamp there. I could come round a bit and just take a picture a bit closer to this wall, or I could go the other side. I think it's probably better this side to get a nice line through the shot there, and it leads you up to that red door, and I think that's quite nice. I could get a bit closer, but I've got the 18 to 55, so I'll use that. Let's go and take this picture. This is a challenge in itself, actually showing you this picture. So I'm having to hold my phone right up against the camera to get that. So there I am. I've got what is that? 1/25 of a second, f5.6. That's a real slow shutter speed. Wait until these people go out of the way, and they're just going. Red door's still there. I'm going to take that shot. There you are. That's nice shot. Taking that one. I'm going to move a bit closer and get another one. I've moved slightly further up this street now because this curve in the road actually curves right round, and I think it's quite a nice little feature in my pictures. Let's have a look at this, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. As you can see, the curve of the road curves right round. It goes up, and I'm going to leave a little gap where that Tudor building, the Harlequin, is, and try to get that in as well, and see what I can do. The light's fading, so it's not going to be the best picture in the world. With that previous image, I took a landscape shot, and then I did portrait. Maybe the portrait looked better. This one looks all right. As I said, there's a curve up the road. I've got a gap there in the road, so you can sort of walk through that road. That's kind of what the idea is. And I've got about, what was the settings here? Just change that up a bit. Oh, wrong way. So it's not intuitive, is it? So that I'm on 40 of the second because there's quite a sky. I'll take that. I've got the 10-second timer on. So you can wait 10 seconds while I do this. Let's see, I've decided to put the 10-second timer on. I'm kind of got my hand on the camera, so it's pointless really. But I'll take another one, and I did earlier a portrait shot, so I do a bit of both. That's just a couple of reasons why I'm thinking about spending thousands of money on a new camera and not use this as my wife suggests I should do. And yeah, hopefully those sorts of things sort of resonate with you. Of course, I am looking to buy a new camera, and I have just noticed recently that rumours suggest that it might be a Pen EPL8 or whatever that's going to be the new camera that is released in September, which would be a massive shame because I was hoping it would be an E-M1 Mark III, but I'm still going to wait until that date and then decide what to do. Thanks very much indeed for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little video and it's useful to you. And if you have enjoyed it, why not give it a like? That'd be awesome. And if you're enjoying my photography content, my journey, because I feel like a bit camera homeless now, if I'm honest, if you're enjoying that, then why not subscribe and follow along, and hopefully the next one will be a bit more revealing. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.